Once all the pieces are complete, let's assemble them. Start by connecting the large square with the 4 smaller squares. This is the right side of the large square. On the right side, we can see the V-shaped stitches facing us, while on the back side, the V-stitches face away. Place the right sides of the large and small squares together, and the yarn tails are positioned between the pieces. The small piece has 12 stitches on each side, while the large piece has 24 stitches on one side. The stitches can be matched up one by one. The insertion point will be the chain stitches at the corners of both pieces. We will use single crochets to join them. Take the yarn and make a slip knot about 2 inches from the end. Insert the hook into the chains and place the loop onto the hook. Then pull the loop through and chain 1. Pull the yarn tail tightly so the yarn will be secured in place. Next, make another chain. Then make a single crochet in the same stitches. Insert the hook and place the yarn tail over the hook. Pull the yarn out, you will see 2 loops on the hook. Then, yarn over the hook and pull through both loops on the hook. This is the first single crochet stitch. Pin a marker here. Next, we'll connect the pieces by making single crochets through the corresponding V-shaped stitches on both sides. The hook will need to be inserted through the whole stitch. Let's demonstrate. Insert the hook into the next V-stitch, then find and insert it into the corresponding stitch on the large square. Place the yarn tail over the hook and pull yarn through both stitches. Then, yarn over and pull the yarn through both loops on the hook. Use the same method to connect the stitches together. For the stitch where we previously made a slip stitch next to the 3 chains, it doesn't resemble a regular stitch. Instead, we can insert the hook into the larger hole beside the chains. Keep connecting the stitches as before. Remember to place the tails over the hook to conceal it while crocheting. Now, we have completed the connection on one side of the small piece and reached the second corner. For the chain stitch at the second corner, we will connect it to the stitch on the large piece where we just made the single crochet. On the other side of the small square, continue connecting the corresponding stitches with single crochets. Keep connecting the pieces stitch by stitch. Now, we have reached the last set of 3 stitches on this side and encountered a slip stitch. Connect the next stitches by inserting the hook into the larger hole beside the 3 chains. Place the yarn tail over the hook to conceal it as you crochet. The next stitch will be the one beside the 3 chains. Don't miss it. The last stitches to connect. Now, we have finished connecting one small square. Let's connect the second small square. Just like before, place the wrong side facing us. Insert the hook into the large space at the corner of the first small square. Next, locate the insertion point for the second small square, which should be at the large space of the corner chain. Then, insert the hook into the large space at the corner chain of the large square. Pull the yarn through all 3 pieces, then complete the stitch with a single crochet. This completes the connection of the 3 pieces. Next, connect the second small square to the large square using the same method as described earlier. Place the yarn tails over the hook. Now that we've reached the corner of the second small square, insert the hook into the large space of the corner chain and crochet a single crochet into the stitch of the large square where we made the previous single crochet. Then continue connecting as before. Here is the last connection stitch for the second small square. Next, we will introduce the third small square to continue the connection. To connect, insert the hook into the large space of the corner chain on the second small square. Place the wrong side of the third small square facing us. Then, insert the hook into the large space of the corner chains. Finally, insert the hook into the large space of the corner chain on the large square and make a single crochet. Now, continue connecting the remaining stitches, one by one. Remember to use the same connection method when you reach the slip stitch. Instead of the normal stitch, use the large space next to the 3 chains. Use the same method to complete the connection of the last small square. Hide the yarn tail. Now that all 4 small squares are connected, leave the last corner chain unconnected. Insert the hook into the large space and make a slip stitch into the first marked stitch. Pull the thread tightly to secure it. Then remove the marker and cut off the yarn. Now, let's connect the triangle pieces. Place the wrong side of the triangle piece facing us when making the connection. Take out the yarn and make a slip knot at the end. Locate the insertion point on the small square, which is the stitch to the left of the corner chain. Let's take a look at the triangle piece. Flip it over so you can see it clearly. The insertion point will be the large space next to the 3 chains. This stitch is the second connection point. Be careful not to confuse it with the large hole. Flip the piece back over and insert the hook into the positions we've mentioned before. Place the loop on the hook and pull it through. Make a chain and gently pull the yarn tail to secure it in place. Then make a single crochet at the same position. This V-shaped stitch is the first one. Pin it with a marker. Next, connect the stitches one by one. Now, we've completed one side of the triangle piece and reached the corner. The connection point to the corner chain of the triangle piece is the stitch we've connected here. Then, continue connecting one by one stitch. The last stitch of this side. For the corner chain of the small square, we'll connect it to the stitch of the triangle piece where we just made the single crochet. Now that we've finished one triangle piece, let's connect the second one. Insert the hook into the next stitch on the small square. The insertion point for the second piece is the same as the first one. Place the yarn tail over the hook and continue connecting. We've reached the corner chain again. Connect it to the thread below where it was previously joined. Use the same method to continue connecting the remaining triangle pieces. We've reached the last set of connecting stitches. For the last corner chain, connect it to the previous stitch on the triangle, just like we did before. Once all the stitches are connected, make a slip stitch into the marked stitch. Stretch out the loop tightly and cut off the yarn. Turn the piece inside out and shape it. Next, we'll add a border along the top of the bag with 3 rounds of single crochets. Start with the hole of one of the magic rings and crochet a single crochet into it. Then, crochet 2 single crochets into each space below the stitches of the rounds. Take out the yarn and make a slip knot about 2 inches from the end. Insert the hook into the hole. Place the loop on the hook. Pull the loop out and make a chain. Then, make a single crochet in the same hole. Insert the hook into the hole and place the yarn tail over the hook. Yarn over and pull the yarn through, leaving 2 loops on the hook. Yarn over again and pull through both loops. This is the first stitch of the first round. Mark it with a stitch marker. In the next space, crochet 2 single crochets into it. This is the second single crochet. Make another single crochet in the same space. Cut off the yarn tail. In the next space, make 2 single crochets, just like before. Make 2 single crochets here too. Another 2 single crochets. At this intersection, crochet 2 single crochets into the corner chain of the small square. Insert into the large space and pull out the yarn slightly longer than usual. In the same hole, make the other single crochet. Then, continue crocheting the same way until the end. After completing the last single crochet, make a slip stitch in the marked stitch. Insert the hook into the stitch, pull the yarn through, and then through the loop on the hook. Pull the yarn tightly to shrink the stitch as much as possible. Now we've completed the first round. To start the second round, make a chain, which doesn't count as a stitch. Then make a single crochet into the same stitch where we just made the slip stitch. This is the first stitch of the second round. Pin a marker here. Next, make a single crochet in each stitch, for a total of 76 stitches. Second single crochet. Then make a slip stitch at the marked stitch. Start with a chain for the third round. We will crochet the third round the same way as the second round, with a total of 76 stitches. Make a slip stitch here to finish the third round. Stretch out the loop and cut off the yarn. Use the yarn needle from the kit to thread the tails through the nearby stitches to conceal it. Now, let's crochet this string, which includes a tassel. Take out approximately 236 inches of yarn. Fold it in half and make a slip knot 3 inches from the end. Take out the hook and insert into the loops. Adjust the loops. Choose one of the threads and hold it securely with your hand. Then, place the other yarn over the hook, making sure it's positioned in the correct direction. Hold the bottom securely, yarn over and pull the yarn through the loops on the hook. We've now completed the first stitch. The following stitches will follow the same process. Let's demonstrate it once more. Keep crocheting. Continue crocheting until you have about a 6-inch tail left. Pull the loop out until it matches the length of the other. Cut off the loops. At last, tie some knots to secure it in place. Next, let's attach the string to the bag. We'll thread the strap through the large holes on both sides of the center. Take out the yarn needle. Pass the string through the first hole from front to back. Leave half of the string. Then, continue threading the string back and forth through the next 3 holes. Use the same method to thread the other half of the string. Now, the string has been attached. Next, let's proceed with attaching the tassels. Take out the yarn in the same color as the string. Wrap the yarn around 4 fingers 7 times. Cut off the yarn. Remove the yarn from your fingers. Use the yarn tails from the string to tie 1 or 2 knots through the loops. Cut about 6 to 7 inches of yarn, leaving a 2 inches tail, and start wrapping the tassel about 0.4 inches from the top. Keep the yarn tight while wrapping. Wrap the yarn around 6 to 7 times, then tie 2 knots with the tail. Use a yarn needle to thread both tails into the inside of the tassel. Cut the loops and trim the ends. The first tassel is complete. Use the same method to make the second one. Both tassels are finished. Now, let's take out the lining from the kit and sew it into the bag. Let's take a look at the lining, which has 2 eyelets that will align with the sides of the bag. Place the lining inside the bag and adjust it into position. Then, align the 2 eyelets with the center holes on both sides of the bag. We began to sew from one of the eyelets. Place the eyelet under the center hole. Align the lining under the holes and string. Make sure the string is not sewn inside the lining. Ensure the eyelet is beneath the center hole. Take the embroidery needle and floss from the kit, and begin sewing the lining starting from the eyelet. We will leave the eyelets unsewn. Sew the edges of the lining to the inside of the bag, so that the floss is concealed. Keep sewing. Now we have reached the other eyelet. Thread through above the eyelet. Leave the center hole unsewn so that the ring can be attached later. Then keep sewing until the end. At the end, leave the eyelet unsewn and secure it with a couple of knots next to it. Cut off the thread. Now, the main body of the bag is finished. Finally, let's crochet the shoulder strap. This shoulder strap is made using the shrimp braid. Let's demonstrate. Take 2 small balls of yarn from the large skein, each weighing approximately 0.32 ounces, or 59 feet. This amount is enough to crochet a shoulder strap of about 3.34 feet in length. You can adjust the yarn amount depending on your needs. Take out 2 rings from the kit. We will crochet the shrimp braid using 2 strands of yarn together. Tie a slip knot from the end. We will crochet into this small ring. Insert hook into the ring and place the loop on the hook. Adjust the loop and hook it through the ring. Yarn over and pull it through the loops to create a chain. Then insert hook into the ring again, place the tails over the hook. Proceed with a single crochet. A V-stitch forms. Next, crochet another single crochet, making sure to place the tails over the hook. Now we have 2 V-shaped stitches. Flip the piece over. Insert hook into the first V-stitch and make a single crochet. Make sure not to make the stitches too tight. Flip the piece over again. Insert the hook into these 2 loops. 1 single crochet again. Flip the piece over and insert the 4 loops. A single crochet. Then, repeat the process until the strap is the desired length. It can be seen that the shrimp braid pattern is starting to form. Next, we'll demonstrate how to attach the strap to the second ring. Stretch out the loop and insert the hook into the small ring. Then put the loop back on the hook. Hook it through the ring and make a chain. Stretch out the loop. Leave a 7.5 inches tail and cut off the yarn. Take out the yarn needle. We will sew the tail into the strap. Sew through the ring to secure the strap in place. Finally, tie a knot nearby and tuck the tails inside to hide them. Cut off the tails. Let's attach the strap to the bag. Pass it through both center hole and the eyelet. The pretty Shumai bag is finished.